a second key principle for understanding reality besides the principle of evolution.
Yep.
It was an idea that I could apply to the study of perception in the physical world, an idea I could apply to consciousness and the nature of consciousness. It was an idea I could apply to time and evolution. It was an idea that actually can be applied to humanity's relationship with their environment and our relationship with technology. So it has multiple different meanings to it, or different applications to it, that I've thought out over the years.
And now you're referring specifically to the concept of reciprocity.
Yes, reciprocity was a concept that I took from J.J. Gibson, who was a psychologist of perception in the 1940s, 50s, 60s, and 70s, who I studied with at Cornell. And Gibson was considered the most creative and inventive perceptual theorist in the world at the time. And Gibson attempted to develop an ecological theory of perception. And by ecological, he meant an understanding of perception that would involve both understanding the perceiver and the environment as a reciprocal whole, and that in order to understand what's going on in perception, you need to include both dimensions. And Gibson saw the perceiver and environment as a reciprocity. And what he meant by that was that they are distinct, but they are interdependent. Now, when you look at the Chinese symbol of the yin-yang, you find the yin and you find the yang, and they are in one sense distinct.
Right.
They are a duality, but they mesh or align together, and they form the totality of the Taoist symbol. And so they symbolize both plurality and unity or wholeness simultaneously. And so perceiver and environment are both distinct but complementary, and they form a totality or a whole. And so reciprocity I took as a psychologically dizzying concept, as I'll push it a little bit further and push the yin-yang simultaneously a little bit further by saying that the fact that they are distinct is tied up with and necessarily connected with the fact that they are interdependent. That is, their individuality and their togetherness form a unity, a reciprocity. It would be like asking the question of, is the universe a one or is it a many? And the answer is, it's both and necessarily so. Is it both a two or is it a one? It is both and necessarily so. And so, as one implication here, we have the conscious mind and we have the physical world. Are they distinct? Yes, in a sense they are distinct, but they are interdependent with each other, and one can't have one without the other.
And you find that this principle of reciprocity applies to many of the polarities that we think of, good and evil, light and dark.
Yes, it applies to all of the Western dualistic polarities. You can reconceptualize them all as reciprocities, or you can reconceptualize them all in terms of yin-yangs within the Taoist model. Let's take another one, which is a key one, which is stability versus change. And stability and change can be reconceptualized as a reciprocity. So one can't have stability without change, and one can't have change without stability.